Yeah, I mean, I get people's thing with the overtime rule because Buffalo didn't have a chance to get the ball, but you had 4 quarters to have the ball, and you ended up with the same amount of points. Your defense couldn't stop them. They won the toss and couldn't stop them again. So kind of is what it is. Mhm. Mm-mm-mm. They can't hear you. You're saying like give you 1 second, but they can't hear you though. Well, I mean, like, you know, it's not my job. That's what I'm saying. You got it.
Now you can hear me. You can hear me?
Okay.
Thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. You can hear me. You can hear me. Yep. All right. All right. All right. Now we are live. Look, basically, congratulations to both teams, man. Both of them, they did everything on the offensive side, they did everything they could to win the game.
Yeah.
Defense was just like, not tonight.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, look, if you are new here, first and foremost, if you are new here, take a minute, hit that like button, also subscribe. All right,
Yes.
we are Panthers and Ravens fans, so we look at all these games through the lenses of Panthers and Ravens, and I'm here to tell you, the Ravens do not have those kind of weapons on their team. That's what I say. That's what I mean when I say get Lamar weapons. That right there.
Well, yeah, and I tweeted it out while that in that crazy finish was going on. Don't ever talk to me about defense again. The Buffalo Bills were the number one defense in the league in both yards and points per game. They gave up 17 points per game. They gave up 46 or 42 tonight. You know, they the Chiefs have special players in Pat Mahomes, in Travis Kelsey, in Tyreek Hill. They open up the game for everyone else, and there's nothing a defense can do about that. And obviously, the coaching matters as well. They've got great coaching over there with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, but you can't reach that level with coaching alone.
No, you
I
can't.
mean, you can have the greatest coaches of all time. You have to have superior talent to do what they did tonight, and the Ravens don't have it. Mark Andrews had a fantastic year. He's a very good tight end. He's one of the top tight ends in the league. He's not Travis Kelsey. Hollywood, Rashad Bateman, Duvernay, Prochet, when their powers combine, they are not in the same universe as Tyreek Hill. They're nothing like Tyreek Hill. I understand that Hollywood's fast. Duvernay's pretty fast. Tyreek Hill is not. It's not just speed with him. That's a part of what he is,
Yeah,
but that's not everything.
yeah, yeah.
The Ravens don't have any playmakers who are anywhere close to what Tyreek Hill is.
Well, we'll get more into that in a second. Let's recap this game first. Let's recap this game because we can go on. We are going to go on a rant, but we let's recap what happened in this game. Couch Rider Raven, shout out to you. He says best playoffs ever. Great playoffs,
Couch?
man. We're going to talk about this game. We'll recap some of the other games for the weekend. Shout out to our fans.
Again, real quick, if you're not subscribed already, head over to Couch Rider Ravens channel and hit that subscribe button there as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, all right. Deshaun says, I hope Bashadi was paying attention. I really and truly do. I hear you. King of Pugo says, what's up, y'all? What's up with you, King of Pugo? Appreciate you coming through. Derek Weatherly says, out here hunting NHL lines in true D Weezy fashion. Of course you are. Of course you are. Joseph Carteret says, defense winning games on the NFC side. True. But here in the AFC, defund the defense. That's right. Hashtag defund the defense. Indeed. We got to keep up with these high-scoring offenses, playmakers making plays. Yeah, and I'm going to look, we have a whole offseason to discuss this. We're absolutely going to get into it. I'm just in my camera there.
I mean, I'm not so sure that's true on the defensive side either. Or on the NFC side either. It did in the 49ers and Packers game because that game was played in sub-zero temperatures and snow, and the offenses didn't play particularly well.
Yeah.
The Rams won 30-27.
Yeah.
I understand that both teams turned the ball over a few times, but it's not like their defense is out there shutting anybody down in that game.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, so let's go over this game. It started out. Look, both teams were aggressive from the get go, right? The Bills were like, look, fourth down, I don't care where we at on the field, we're going for it, and boom, scored a touchdown, which is exactly what they needed to do. You have to be aggressive with the Chiefs team like this. You can't settle for field goals. They're absolutely right. And the Chiefs answered back with the touchdown on their own, and they ended up scoring again, right? It was 14-7. And
yeah, it was 14-14
at halftime.
I believe going into the half.
In a half, yeah.
And the Chiefs kicked a field goal to go up.
Well, they kicked the field goal at the end of the first half, but they missed it. But
I don't know why you got to bring that up. That's not even relevant to what we talking about.
Because I thought that was going to cost him the game. Like, he missed a field goal. Booker missed a field goal and an extra point. And I was just like, in a game like this, that's everything. But then, man, look, Gabriel Davis, I don't know if he was wearing an invisible cloak, right? Because every time, it felt like, one, every time he caught the ball, it was for a touchdown. And two, every time he caught the touchdown, there was no one near him.
Only half the times.
Yeah.
You give that Kansas City defense credit, man.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, Josh Allen, amazing game. Gabriel Davis, amazing game. What do you have? 4 touchdowns?
He sure did. First receiver in NFL history to score 4 touchdowns in a playoff game.
Listen, man, that's stepping up in a big moment. Gabriel Davis is a solid wide receiver, right? Mm-hmm. Never had a game like that. You wouldn't expect him to have a game like that, but he understood the moment and he stepped up. And having Stephon Diggs out there to draw away defenses from you, because, I mean, that's why he's wide open like that, right? Because who's Gabriel Davis? Yeah. Well, Gabriel Davis is somebody that understands I'm going to be open and I'm going to make plays with my quarterback. And I'm going to step up big in these moments. So shout out to him. And, man, Tyreek Hill he is not from this planet.
So him and Travis Kelce combined for 19 catches, 246 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. And we got a donation. Shout out to Suge. Suge says, why is everyone crying about this overtime rule? Like, really? Bills had 13 they had 13 seconds to make a stop. It could have taken time off the clock. Anyways, great weekend of football. And shout out to you, Suge. And I should also mention, if you're new here, we don't do super chat. If you want that highlighted comment like you just saw above there are 2 ways you can do it. You can hit up the Cash App right below B, $LBHT show, or you can hit up that pinned link that's in the chat box. That will take you to our Streamlabs. Either way, you make a donation, leave your comment, and we'll read it on air. All right. I'm gonna read some of these comments here because there a lot of people they got their own takes in here. Gosh, child, what is going on? Thanks for coming through. Says, what's up, family? This was a crazy week of football. Yes, it was, man. It was such a fun week. Tough Puppy, he's saying F Buffalo. Ooh, getting a little spicy in there, Tough. But you're here early. Shout out to you, Tough Puppy. You're here at the beginning.
Listen, low key, I agree with him. I don't care. I don't feel bad for Buffalo. So what? Play some defense for 13 seconds. Yeah,
there's some people in here saying they feel sorry for Josh Allen, and I feel you on that. Hold on, let me read this donation from Tony Hendo. Hendo says, "Yeah, appreciate you, Tony." He says, "Where can I get some offense like that?" Oh, we're going to discuss that. Reverse says he doesn't feel bad for Josh Allen. I feel bad if somebody had to lose. I was going to feel bad either way, to be honest, because that was a great performance from both sides. I was going to feel bad for whoever lost that game because both of them played like champions, right?
Yeah.
So just great game, man. I was excited to see that, man. 13 seconds. I thought they had it in the bag, right? Gabriel Davis, I thought that was a walk-off touchdown. That was it. 13 seconds. Who knew that was too much time for Pat Mahomes? Right? I mean, and what did he do? And what did he do on that play? 13 seconds. Your season's on the line. I'm getting it to my 2 playmakers. It was a pass to Tyreek Hill and a pass to Travis Kelce.
I thought Tyreek was going to score on that play because he started accelerating, and I thought he was just going to break right through those 2 Bills and be gone. But hey, credit to them, they tackled him on that one, right? Then Travis Kelce found himself wide open down the seam. And got him into field goal range.
That one was a little more predictable. I was just like, okay, there's about 8 seconds left, and you can either play up to try to stop them from getting to field goal range, or you could play back so you don't get beat over top, right? I'm sure that's what they're thinking. Like, all right, if we gotta give up the field goal, we'll give up the field goal. But Tyreek Hill he's teleporting everywhere. So let's just go all the way back to make sure he doesn't score a touchdown.
Romo and was it Nance? They were out there talking about Bucker, he can probably hit a 60-yard field goal. He has that kind of leg. And mere seconds later, they're like, oh my God, it's gonna be a 48-yard field goal.
Oh man, what's up, Danny? Danny says that's how you step up. Yes. Couch Riot says Allen's arm is a beast. Yes, both of their arms are beasts, man. Both of them.
Yeah.
I think Mahomes, he hit like his last 9 completions.
Right.
Most of them just sidearm, just throwing it, just getting there. Brandon Buck says Hill's legit flash. He is, man. And we got another donation from Suge. Shout out to Suge, man. Y'all coming through with the donations tonight. He says, you know who I feel bad for? Brandon Moreno. Also, Davin, this is your fault for last night.
It's Davon.
Oh, Davon. Okay, he put Davin. Davon, yes. All right. Josh. Okay, Felipe Moreno says Josh Allen better than Lamar. No. Listen, he's playing better, right? But also he's given the opportunity to play at this level. Lamar has never had those kind of weapons, that kind of protection, right? Or coaching.
Well, he's had that kind of protection at times.
Well, yes,
but not the weapons, nothing close.
No.
Again, I'm not even going to entertain any arguments on that.
No.
Hollywood, Bateman, even when you throw in Mark Andrews, Duvernay, they're nothing like those Chiefs receivers.
Yeah.
Nothing. Because even when you look beyond Kelsey and Hill, you don't have anybody like Mecole Hardman. You don't have anybody like Byron Pringle. You don't have anybody who can play that Jerick McKinnon role.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, they went and they got playmakers in every spot they could find them in. Yeah. For moments like that.
Yeah. Q Jackson 124 says, "What's up, fellas? What's up with you, Q? Appreciate you coming through." We got Willie and Sania Moreno says should have did a better kickoff run some seconds off. Oh, should have run some seconds off that clock. But again, that's the danger, right? Like, okay, you kick it off, run some seconds off. They have a shorter field, right? And they already have all three of the timeouts. That first pass almost got them into field goal range off of Tyreek Hill. So it's tough, man. And you're talking about both defenses are already gassed.
I can't blame the kickoff when it was 13 seconds and you have the number one defense in the league.
That is
tackle somebody.
That is tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. The number one defense.
They pointed out on the broadcast, right? They're like, you're up 3. They have 8 seconds left. This is right before the Kelsey play. There's 8 seconds left. Why are you rushing 4? For what?
Yeah.
Drop everybody into coverage.
And shout out to Plug Cap. He says Allen still be taking bad sacks low key. I didn't see him taking any sacks in that game. He eluded a few. Man, Allen was amazing. Josh Allen was amazing. Like there's not going to be any hate on Josh Allen, man. Shout out to him. That was an amazing game.
Listen, we had said last year, you got to wait and see if he plays well again. But Josh is a great quarterback.
Shout out to Ravens Online Ungatekeepers. Okay. Yeah. I see you. He says, when you have a great offense, you are never out of a game. That is 100% facts right there.
And when you have a great defense, the door is never closed.
Yeah. And we got another donation here from Twan. Appreciate you, Twan. Thanks for coming through. Says Shannon Sharp posted Lamar behind Herbert and Burrow.
He said that in a tweet. He said we got another decade of Mahomes versus Allen versus Herbert versus Burrow. And that rubbed some people in the Ravens flock the wrong way.
Listen, I don't take it any way at all. Like, we're not in the playoffs.
Well, neither is Herbert.
True.
But the reason that Lamar Jackson was not included there and Herbert was because one of those teams plays offense. Mm-hmm. One of those teams has big time receivers. and it's not Baltimore.
Listen, we already know what it is, right? There's always going to be that.
And Herbert just had a better year than Lamar, also. But
He did, but there's always going to be that hate for Lamar Jackson for how he made the media look. He made a lot of people look goofy, right? And they're always going to resent him for that. But when you have a down year, you ain't gonna get talked about. You know, like that's just the reality. He had a down
especially
year.
when there are a lot of other young quarterbacks playing at an extremely high level.
Yeah. So I mean, part of it is Lamar hate, part of it, but a big chunk of it is down year, not in the playoffs. Because if he was in the playoffs, healthy, and he was able to perform, yeah, he'd be talked about. But you know, out of sight, out of mind. So you know, don't take it too much to heart. Look, heal
But
up.
I understand why Ravens fans did, because Shannon's got a history with Lamar.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes. D Weezy donated. Shout out to you, D Weezy.
Thank you, man.
He says, "Thanks, COVID." Told Rogan talking about Aaron Rodgers. All right, we'll finish up this game. We'll recap some of these other games, man. But yeah, Tyreek Hill, that touchdown where he just threw up the peace sign from like 10 yards out. Like, the guy was standing right beside him. It wasn't like he was doing it behind him. The guy was right there. He's just
he hadn't passed him yet.
Yeah, he's like,
I can see the angle you're taking, and I can see it's going to be insufficient.
See, and okay, I want to address this. Couch Rider Raven says Brown equals Mecole Hardman, Bateman maybe equals Pringle. That's not enough.
No, he doesn't, and it's false.
Well, I mean, Bateman might be right. Like Bateman has a lot of potential. But if this is true, if Brown equals Hardman, Mecole Hardman, and Bateman equals Byron Pringle, those are the third and fourth options on Kansas City, right? That's not enough here in Baltimore. It's not enough. I need us to have a Tyreek Hill and a Travis Kelce.
And those guys haven't proven to be those kind of playmakers. They just haven't.
Not yet.
Hollywood's a better receiver than Mecole Hardman.
I agree.
But Mecole Hardman is a better playmaker than Hollywood is.
Yeah.
Hollywood is not a playmaker with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
And again, those guys don't mean anything when you don't have Kelce and Hill.
Yeah. Michael Myers, shout out to you. Thanks for coming through. 13 seconds. Stat that.
Okay. I just said the other day that those commercials are terrible, but I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
What's up, Lawrence Trent? He says, what's up, guys? What's up with you, man? 60 people in here, man. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. If you're new, and I see some new faces in here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Look, we cover a lot of Ravens and Panthers on this channel, but look, we're NFL fans. That's why we're here covering this game and just recapping the playoffs, right? We also do UFC and boxing. Also, if you're into boxing, we have another channel. You can find it on our homepage, Ring Kings Podcast. We do a show with our man Mikey from Off the Record Podcast. I saw you in here earlier, Mikey. I didn't miss you, but yeah, we do a podcast with him. We're gonna be doing another episode coming up, talking about Francis Ngannou and what's next for him. Is he gonna stay in the UFC, or is he gonna maybe take his talents to the boxing ring? So stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Ring Kings Podcast. And G-Star 007 says, I think Ravens been too cheap and lazy. I have no problems with anything you said there. I think both are spot on. Let's see. Field goal. Thank you for coming through. Bills. They're screwed. Hill bye. See you in the afterlife. Okay. Yes, field goal looks like a Chiefs fan, and he's saying bye to the Bills. That's what I'm getting from that. Joe Ellinger, thank you for coming through. He says Josh Allen 10 times QB Mahomes is defense through the game should be investigated for point shaving seriously. You talking about the Bills defense? They're the number one defense, and
you're saying they threw the game.
But
Josh Allen is not 10 times the quarterback that Pat Mahomes is.
He's not.
This is the fourth straight year that Pat Mahomes has been in the conference championship.
Listen, man. 4 straight years. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's been to the Super Bowl twice, and he's won it once, right? And it's looking like he's going back again.
Because you know what it is? Josh Allen is a very, very good quarterback, even a great quarterback. Mahomes is the bar.
Yes. Yes.
Period. What you watched tonight is the future greatest of all time.
Listen, man, deal with it. All right. Look, I'm a Ravens fan. B's a Panthers fan, but we're both huge Lamar Jackson fans. Mahomes is the bar, like B said, man. Like that's who you have to go through. That's the standard. Mark Wilsea says, what do the analytics say about prevent defense with a 3-point lead? Joke. Yeah, man. And Mikey says Spag's job got saved at the end. Gabriel Davis almost got that man fired. Yes. I mean, the one the quarterback got completely juked out of his shoes. Mike Hughes. I don't know how you come back from that. I mean, look, you're still alive.
That's going to be tough to shake off, man.
Listen. Heal up, ice up them ankles tonight. Go see your sports psychiatrist tomorrow because you got to face Jamar Chase next week, right? Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, right?
Yeah, but hopefully the D line will handle most of that. Since they can't block at all.
That is true. I think that's going to be an exciting game. Yeah. I think that's going to be an exciting game. I don't think the Bengals get blown out. And listen.
Oh, I was saying it's exciting because they're going to get blown out.
No, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Bengals are going to fight, and that's an exciting storyline. Look, I know Ravens fans don't want to see the Bengals in the Super Bowl, but it could happen. They're exciting. They're an exciting team to watch. It's either that or you see Mahomes go for he's in his fourth straight
third straight year.
Third straight year.
He wins.
Man, Mahomes is something else. Shout out to Keeping It Real. What's up with you, man? Says we just saw the number one defense fold in the fourth quarter and OT. The game has moved more towards the offense. Thank you. If you don't invest in the offense, your team will not go far in the postseason.
Exactly.
Look, since we started this channel, we've been saying it. Right, we have the hashtag defund the defense, right? And what we've been saying about that is make offense a priority. Not saying defense just let it fall to the wayside because we're going to get into the NFC side of the playoffs here in a minute. Defense is still important, right? Defense is still important, but your number one priority needs to be offense, especially when you have quarterbacks like what you just saw out there and in Baltimore. Like, you need to surround those guys with all the talent in the world, because they can do amazing things like that when your defense can't step up, right?
Yep.
And listen, Josh Allen did everything he needed to do to win that game. He did everything. He left 13 seconds on the clock. You're supposed to be able to handle that, and they couldn't handle it.
No, they couldn't, which is why I don't want to hear anything about defense.
Yeah.
Period. You see, I mean, this isn't the only time you see it. You see it constantly when you get into the playoffs, where the top offenses at the end of the game, no matter what defense they're going against, they move right down the field and they score when they need to.
Yeah.
I mean, San Francisco was a great defense when they got to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago to play against Pat Mahomes. They were up by 11 with 7 minutes left, and they lost.
That's the thing about this Chiefs team, man. Like, they don't need much time. That's the scary part. They don't need much time on the clock. And like B said, like in that Super Bowl, I remember I was thinking, oh man, San Francisco's going to do it. They gave them too much time. They came back. Mm-hmm. And I think this year the defense is a little bit better. I mean, they got smoked tonight, but they're better than that defense that won the Super Bowl. Last year they lost to Tampa Bay, and people like to point out that Tampa Bay's defense was a top defense, and they got after Mahomes and everything. But you're talking about the Chiefs O-line that was completely decimated, right? They retooled it since then. And also Tampa Bay had a better offense than Kansas City. They were ranked higher. They had probably more weapons, I would say, more weapons, right? They averaged more points per game. Like they were a higher scoring offense. So yes, defense is important, but offense needs to be priority. You got to make sure your offense can score, can keep up with anybody. And then yes, you want a defense that can slow down the other offense. Couch Rider says he's got to go. Thanks for take care. Yeah, thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate you coming through. Cam Cobain, thank you for coming to the live stream. He says we just saw the quarterbacks of the future for many years still to come. Yeah, they're all young.
Listen,
they're all young.
You didn't see the quarterbacks. You saw the quarterbacks of the present.
Yes,
they're the best in the league right now.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Tom and Aaron are gone.
Yeah, that's it.
They're out.
Yeah, that's a wrap. Derek Martinez, thank you for joining the live stream. Says fire that Bills defensive coordinator and D line. They ruined that Bills offensive work. You're gonna fire the defensive coordinator? They're the number one defense in the league, man. Sheesh. Need new overtime rules and play out an entire quarter. All right, listen. I know there's gonna be some Bills Mafia in here. Shout out to Bills Mafia. The rules are the rules, bro. The rules are the rules. I hear you. I would like to see it more like the college rules, right? Where every side gets a chance to score no matter what. But it is what it is, right? If you got the coin flip and you went down and scored, you would not be saying they need to change the rules. You would take that win, right?
Well, and you had your chance to stop them. You could have stopped them when Tyreek Hill threw up the peace sign. You could have stopped them.
No, you couldn't. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You could not. That's why he threw up the peace sign. You physically cannot catch me. So you're wrong there.
You could have stopped them when they had 13 seconds left to get into field goal range from their own 25.
Yeah.
You didn't do it then. And you could have stopped them on that first drive in overtime, and you didn't do it then. So I don't want to hear about the rules.
Yeah.
You had every opportunity to stop them.
Yeah.
You didn't do it.
All right, man, there's all kinds of new people in here. Make sure y'all hitting that subscribe button, man. If you like what we're doing here, subscribe. We do a live show every Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time, the LBHT show. All right, and we're gonna be covering more of the playoffs. We're big Ravens and Panthers fans, so we talk a lot of that on the show as well. But you're fans of other teams, you want to get it off your chest, man. Hang out with us, man. Come through. Put it in the chat. If you're looking for a super chat, we don't do super chats, but we do have highlighted comments. And what you do is either the Cash App or hit that link that's in your chat box. Either way, you can leave a donation, leave a comment. You'll have a nice little graphic that comes up there, and we'll read your comment on the air. All right. And yes, Mikey says 68 people in here. Hit that like button. Yes, sir. Indeed. Yes. Let's see. Rick James says 13 seconds is now too much time to leave on the clock for Mahomes. Man, that is scary.
Yeah. And obviously most teams, no other teams are going to get to that level, right? That was kind of like Tracy McGrady scoring 13 in 30 seconds, right? Like most people just aren't ever going to be able to do that. Yeah. But you know what though? The Bills got the ball with a minute left and went right down the field and scored a touchdown. You have to compete with that.
Right. Yeah, and this guy he trolling Bills Mafia, man. Look, he says paying Josh Allen that much money and he is trash. Choke Mafia. Okay, look, I'll read the one troll. Look, we're not Bills fans, but I'll read one troll. The next troll you have to pay for, all right, for us to read. Look, I mean, he's saying that they'll never win a Super Bowl. All right, man. All right. Look, super young team, and they're only going to get better. They're not going to get worse. They're going to get better.
Well, because you when you look at and I think this is also part of what Shannon Sharp was saying when he named the specific quarterbacks he did. You look at Kansas City, you look at Buffalo, you look at the Chargers, you look at Cincinnati. They are teams where the organization has figured out the quarterback is the team.
Yeah.
And we have to do everything to support the quarterback.
Yeah.
Baltimore hasn't figured that out.
Yeah.
So of course you're not going to be on that list. But Buffalo's not going anywhere. They figured out Josh Allen is the man. I mean, they figured it out before he even started playing well. Right?
Yeah.
They said, "Hey, that's our guy. We're going to tank as hard as we can. We're going to trade off whatever we need to get into range to draft him. Oh man, we got him and he sucks. That's okay. We're going to build around him and we're going to develop him." And they did. And now he's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to support him. They're not going anywhere.
Nope. Zune Jones says defensive coaching in the NFL is bad. Cornerback play has gotten worse. I don't think coaching is bad. The rules have changed. Like you can't play defense the way you used to. The NFL wants to see more scoring. They want to see more games like that. Right.
They want points on the board.
Yes. They're selling their product to more people, right? These TV deals get bigger and bigger, and people want to see. Americans like to see points scored. They like to see action. All right, we got a donation here from OTR Mike. Shout out to you. He says the best nation is donation. Support these guys. Indeed.
Thank you, Mikey.
And we'll take a couple minutes here. We'll take a second, not a couple minutes. We'll take about 60 seconds to plug our stuff. Right? There's a lot of new people in here, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. And hold on, let me read this other donation that came in. Mikey says, by the way, the Pick'em champ is here. Listen, I meant to give you your trophy this weekend, man. I'll holler at you tomorrow. We'll meet up tomorrow, and I'll give you your trophy, and we'll take a picture so you guys can see it. But real quick, man, right below me, right, there's some information there, right? LBHTshow.com. That's our website. If you go to that website, man, we have articles. We got, we get this the show in an audio form podcast, and we have a merch store. Okay, LBHTshow.com/shop. If you like I'm not even wearing my shirt now because I got too excited to go put it on. You like what B's wearing? You like this mug that we got all kinds of stuff on the store, right? Check it out. See if there's something that you like. Go ahead and make a purchase. Also, our social media stuff at LBHT Show. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at LBHT Show. And if you want to donate a little bit more, you want to support on a monthly basis, patreon.com/LBHT show. There's one tier right now, $3 tier, but pretty soon we're going to have a $10 tier. We had a $10 tier before, and you used to be able to get a nice shiny coin like this, right? This one is gone. But we got another one coming pretty soon that's in production, all right? And also the $3 tier will give you access to our Discord and our overtime show, which is what we do every Wednesday night. After our main show, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. But we'll talk about that again a little bit later. Let's get back to some of these comments here. Adam Boneo, did I say that right? Bonio says, I'm a Kansas City fan, and I have all the respect in the world for the Bills. Hell of a game. This is going to be a great rivalry for years to come. Yeah, hopefully the Ravens are in that mix.
Easier to say that from your end of the
game. Bills fans say, I hate you.
yeah, it's much easier when you're on your way to the AFC Championship to say, man, them Bills were scrappy. That was fun.
Yeah. Reverse says, Ravens saw that game and was like, Greg Roman is our guy. We will just run out the clock as much as possible instead of scoring as much as possible.
All I'm going to say again is Greg Roman better be fired tomorrow.
He better be fired, man. I mean, shout out to Cash Fire Raven. He was in here earlier. That's our guy, but we were going back and forth on Twitter, and we love you, man, but you are wrong about Greg Roman. Greg Roman, I believe Greg Roman and Marty Morningway before him held Lamar Jackson back. They're not helping him out at all. They're holding him back. They're holding this team back. They're holding this offense back, and the rest of the league is just getting way ahead of us.
It's like Greg Roman didn't even recognize the sport that was being played on that field tonight.
I know. All right, read a couple more comments and then let's get to recapping some of these other games, and we'll circle back around to this game tonight because I know some Kansas City fans might be in here, some Bills fans. Look, if you're a Bills fan, you need to get off your chest, man. Get it off your chest. Throw it in the chat. All right, if you really need us to see it, man, do a highlighted comment, man. We'll read it on air. But we'll read a couple more here, and let's talk about some of these other games for the weekend. Jonathan Washington Jr. says the best defense in the league all season long just gave up 42 points in a playoff game. I don't want anybody telling me we need to take Sauce Gardner. We need to stack up on O-line.
And by the way, that's a week after they put 40 plus on the number 2 defense in the league.
Yes. Yeah, they just did that. They just did that last week. Yep. What's up, JP?
They thought it was pretty funny last week.
Yeah. JP says, what's good, fellas? What's up with you, man?
What's up?
James Courtney, I live about 5 miles from Arrowhead. Fireworks going off all over the place. Well, be safe out there, man. Be safe out there. And congratulations, man. That was a great win. What's up, Ferris? Ferris says, coaches coaching, how weird. Let's see. Mr. J6 says, would Tre'Davious White made a difference in tonight's game?
No.
Can he catch the cheetah? Can he catch Tyreek Hill? I don't think anybody. There wasn't a single person in the league that was going to be able to make that play against Tyreek Hill. It is such a hard task to defend these guys, especially somebody like Tyreek Hill, right? Like, you got to play everybody else that's out there. Travis Kelce is a beast in himself. Like, you don't want to give Travis Kelce space to run either. That's the funny thing, right?
Yeah.
He's the type of person, he can catch it and just take it to the house. So you don't want to give him space either, but you give Tyreek Hill just a little space, he'll run around you. Like, you want to know why he always hops back after he catches the ball? He's trying to give himself space to run around to the side.
Yeah. He's given himself just a tiny little opening to beat your angle because you cannot keep up with him. He's quicker, he's faster, he's more explosive. He accelerates much faster than everybody else in the field. So if he gets half a yard away from you, that's it.
That's it. It's a wrap.
It's over.
Yeah.
You need multiple people to tackle Tyreek Hill most of the time.
Yeah. What's up,
and
man?
That doesn't even address the fact that he's small, but he's really strong and he's got great balance.
Yeah. Manuel's Call of Duty channel. If you guys are into Call of Duty, subscribe to my man Manuel, man. He does Call of Duty videos, and he's an awesome guy, man. Make sure you give him a follow. Says, this weekend showed me we need to fire G-Ro, Greg Roman, like yesteryear. Boy, listen, man. It's a culmination of things, B. The Ravens don't make the playoffs, right? Wink getting fired. We're seeing scoring like we've never seen here in Baltimore before. And people are like, why aren't we doing that?
I do think it was nice of Josh and Patrick to put on that special performance solely for the benefit of the Baltimore Ravens fans and the Ravens organization to show them what they're missing. But yeah, I mean, it's been a hard message to deliver to Ravens fans because, Baltimore's been about defense for so long.
Yeah. Yes.
That ain't the league no more.
Mikey says, I hate to say it, I'm kind of happy Kansas City won. Bills Mafia have been annoying lately. Sorry, not sorry. Signed, disgruntled Ravens fan. Listen, man, Chiefs fans can be unbearable too. Yeah. They can be unbearable too. It is what it is. Like, when your team starts winning, lots of crazy people come out the woodworks. Lots of trolls come out the woodworks. That's just part of it comes with the territory. All right, look, let's talk about some of these other games. You want to talk about QAnon Rogers?
I mean, it's funny, right? Because he stopped believing in science and he stopped believing in his other receivers at the same time because he refused to throw to anybody but Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, he had Alan Lazard wide open at the end of that game, and it was like, I don't trust it. And he threw it to a double covered Devontae Adams. Ended up losing 13-10 to a team who didn't even score an offensive touchdown.
I'm not gonna lie, because if you look at his numbers, you're like, he was pretty accurate. There were times in the game where I'm wondering, are you doing this on purpose? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you doing this on purpose? Like, why aren't you throwing the ball? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
If you look at it here, Aaron Jones had 10 targets, their running back. Devontae Adams had 11 targets. And then we've got Alan Lazard with 1, Mercedes Lewis with 1, Randall Cobb with 1, Josiah DeGuara with 1, and Daphne with 2. So he would not throw it to any other receivers all night.
Yeah. And I'll read this on a field goal going back to the Chiefs. He said, I'm a big Chiefs fan, but they both have played their hearts out, and I hope it stays like that. Yeah. Hey, man, and congratulations to you guys, man. 4 AFC title games in a row. So Congrats. Keenan Ricketts says Aaron's a fraud. Aaron's not a fraud. Aaron Rodgers is not a fraud. Like, he's one of the all-time greats.
Well, but you know what, though? Aaron Rodgers is another good example of what we're talking about, right? Because one of the most talented quarterbacks ever.
Yes.
Period. Like, there's no argument there. He's one of the greatest of all time. And he's been playing for about 17 years, and they have won Super Bowl. Yeah. And that's because their organization never wanted to draft receivers, never spent any money in free agency, and they just refused to build the best team around Aaron Rodgers that they could.
Right.
And just, they fired their GM recently a few years ago. They got the new GM in there. They started spending some money in free agency, and they've been one of the top teams since then.
Yeah. And listen, I mean, unless you're talking about off the field, then, we can have that. Yeah, that's another discussion. But that's why Aaron Rodgers was vocal about wanting to go. Like, he hasn't been happy. He hasn't been happy since Mike McCarthy, right? Like, he recognizes a coach that he can't get it done. He's looking at the organization. He doesn't like the GM. Just like, hey, like you're not giving me weapons. And I agree with him in terms of that stuff, right? Are we trying to win a Super Bowl because you spent a first round pick on a backup quarterback? You spent a second round pick on a backup running back, right? Mm-hmm. Are you trying to win? Like what are you doing with these picks? Like, you're not putting it towards getting me weapons, right? And I'm the priority. You're expecting me to carry the team. So then when he turns around and says, all right, well, trade me. I don't want to play here anymore. Then they're acting like they don't want to trade him. Oh, well, can you stay one more year? And then in the offseason, let's see. No, you made the decision when you went ahead and drafted his replacement in the first round that you don't want him there anymore.
Yeah.
Like you can't have it both ways. Like, he's absolutely right about that. Like what he did right there, I agree. And that's why I'm glad Lamar's holding out right now. Right? Like, no, man, if you don't want to invest in me, I don't need to be here. If you guys are acting like I should be the third highest paid quarterback in the league, right? Then I'll wait. I don't need to sign. I'll wait. I'll hold out until you change your mind. But yes, 13-10. That was a pitiful performance by the Packers, and congrats to the 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers. They got to Aaron Rodgers. They sacked him 5 times. They blocked a punt, returned it for a touchdown. They forced a couple turnovers. I think the defense definitely came through in a bad weather game where Aaron Rodgers was not playing well. The Packers' offense wasn't playing well, and their offense wasn't playing well because Jimmy Garoppolo is a bad quarterback who was trying to prevent them from moving on. He wanted to get going on his vacation, but the defense wasn't ready. So they pulled them through this week. It's gonna be an interesting game next week with the Rams because, again, those are 2 starting quarterbacks who are allergic to winning. Yeah.
I'm going to read this comment here from Brandon H. Thank you for joining the live stream. He's talking about Josh Allen. He says, Josh Allen ran over a cornerback so bad the cornerback got hurt and had to leave the game. Yeah. How long do you think Josh Allen can run around like that before he gets rocked and hurt by a linebacker? Well, listen, look, Allen's a big boy, right? But yes, I mean, look, maybe one day it happens, right? I mean, like there are always bigger guys. But, yes, that is the danger of running that much. But I don't think Josh Allen, I mean, yes, he does run a lot. Don't get me wrong. He does run a lot. But he recognized I had to make plays to win this game, right? Like, we cannot, we have to have, they had 5 fourth down conversions tonight? Like I gotta make sure I can make the play happen. And I respect it. I wouldn't say do that every single game, but a game like this, you gotta do what you gotta do to win.
Linebackers in the NFL are getting smaller. Josh Allen, like I said, he's a big guy. He's a strong guy. He's a fast guy, and he knows how to run. Yeah. There's a difference between being athletic and being a runner. Josh Allen's a runner. He knows what he's doing. He's not going to really get blown up. Like he's like that Cam Newton type of runner.
Yes.
Cam never really got. I mean, everybody takes big hits every now and then, right? But he never got hurt. Like, he's bigger and stronger than everybody else who was trying to tackle him. That's kind of the boat that Josh Allen is in. So as long as he's smart, as long as he's smart with his running, it's not going to be an issue for him.
Yeah. And Shug wants me to read this. Big Ben has 2 Super Bowls. And Shug is a Steelers fan, so he wants that today. Can't see Ghost. Thank you for joining the live stream. Says, thought I had today. The Ravens are interviewing a defensive coordinator because they are waiting for their head coaching candidates who are offensive minded to finish their seasons. I don't think Harbaugh is gone. I mean, but look, that would be surprising. That would be surprising if that happened, because if Harbaugh's going to be out, he's not going to fire his guys, right? If they're saying, hey, you're going to be out, but first I need you to go ahead and fire your guys first. Like, no, we're all leaving together if we're going to be out.
Well, and you don't have to wait to interview the coaches who are still playing.
Yeah.
They changed those rules. I mean, you have to. They would have had to have started the interviews prior to this weekend's games.
Yeah.
But John's just coming back.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but that's what it is.
Going back to the Packers, Jake P says Aaron already said he's not interested in the rebuild, nor should he be, because you wouldn't have to rebuild if you were building around him all this time, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about rebuild now because they're. Oh, and we got a subscriber, Brandon H. Thank you, Brandon H. That's what I'm talking about, man. I need to lower the volume on this subscription jingle. You can't hear it on your side, but I can hear it on my headphones. It startled me. I was like, oh, what is that? Yeah, but no, he's not interested in that. No, nor should he be. You got a cap situation there, and you need to retool some things. That's on you. You send me off somewhere else.
Yeah, same reason that Russell Wilson wants out or wants to explore his options.
Yeah,
he's not interested in playing for a bad team. He's coming to the end of his career. He wants to win.
Yes, Mr. J6 says Devin Funch just stole $10 million.
He stole a lot more than that, my man. He stole a lot more than that. He's not on the team anymore. But he stole all that money in Carolina too.
Yeah. Josh Hoffman says, I have no sympathy for Aaron right now. I did feel very bad for him before these past 2 playoff losses. I feel like he had what he needed to advance this year and last. But he could have had more. Like, I can't say he had what he needed. Yes, Devontae Adams is one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the league, right? But a lot of these teams have more. We just watched the Rams team. We're going to talk about the Rams team game in a second. They have more.
Yeah.
so you can't say
the
that that's
49ers
enough.
Don't. He had enough to beat the 49ers.
Yes. Yeah.
He didn't play well.
Last year he did, but last year you can't say Devontae Adams is enough when you're playing against a quarterback that has AB, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Gronk, right? Like you can't say we got enough here. No, I need more. Give me more. Give me what they have.
Yeah.
But yesterday, that was pitiful. And honestly, that's why I'm wondering. I was just like, did he really care, or was he just like, man, whatever? Let's see. Attitude Pop says, you still think Stafford is trash? Apologize to this man and give him his props. He is clutch and not a loser.
He is absolute trash.
I never called him trash. First of all, I say he's a loser. And I'll tell you what. He had an awesome year this year. He got his first 2 wins in the playoffs ever for his career.
He also led the league in interceptions.
And he also still has a losing record for his career. He is a loser.
Listen, it's one of the, he's a very talented player.
Yes.
He's a very talented player. But you had a 27-3 lead. Why did it come down to the end of the game? Why did you stand still and watch the ball sail past you when you were in the shotgun? They did everything they could to give that game away.
Yeah.
It wasn't all him. They all contributed, but I mean, he wasn't playing well.
Look, he has all the weapons around him in the world, and he still almost threw it away. But look, he didn't. He's advancing. He's in the NFC Championship. He'll be facing the 49ers. Let's talk about the Rams real quick since we're on the Rams. Man, they almost blew that. And it, like, on one hand, it's like, man, they almost blew that. But on the other hand, it's like Cooper Kupp is something else, man. And I didn't notice at the time. I don't know why. Well, I mean, because the people we follow, they don't just talk about the workouts and 40 times and all that stuff. But I didn't know Cooper Kupp ran a 4.640 at the combine, a 4.63 in fact, at the combine. He's slow, but he was slow at the combine, but he didn't look slow out there, obviously. Right?
Well, but he's not that slow now. He's faster now.
Yes. Well, I mean, because straight line speed doesn't tell you the whole story, right? Yeah. Excellent. He's always been an excellent route runner. This was a historic year for him, but he was a good wide receiver coming into this year. He was already a good wide receiver. So him taking that next step isn't that surprising. Yeah. And of course Odell looked amazing too. So look, that's what you need. Sometimes you need that talent to overcome, when you're having a bad day out there. And that's exactly what they did. On the Tampa side, I don't know. Is this it for Tom Brady?
I don't think it is. I think he'll be back. Whether or not he's back in Tampa Bay, I guess we'll see. But I don't think he's going to quit playing. Yeah.
You think they could have used AB out there today? Do you guys think they could have used AB out there today? Listen. They almost came back and won anyway. All I'm saying is Bruce Arians, could you not have just contained yourself for a few more weeks to have AB out there? Because yes, AB, he got surgery and to clear up whatever was wrong with his ankle. He would have played through it for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, could you not have used somebody like him to make a few more plays to get you over the top? Like, that's why Tom Brady wanted him there. All that other stuff does not matter. You're irritated that he's complaining about getting his catches. You're irritated that he's saying, I can't go back in the game. I'm hurt. You think he's BSing you, right? That game doesn't matter. This game today mattered. And you didn't have that extra weapon, that extra playmaker to make those clutch plays for you like they had.
Yeah.
That's why you need to just there's a reason why you brought him here. All right. You got to put your ego to the side and say, listen, I'll deal with that after the season. After we hoist up the trophy, then I'll deal with it. Then we'll decide whether we want to bring him back or try to find, a good replacement. But now's not the time for your ego to get away and say, you're out of here. You're done. It cost him. Yeah, I believe that cost him. Ferris says Eddie George was a big boy when Ray Lewis made it his mission to take his soul. I mean, you're talking about one of the greatest linebackers of all time. Who else did that to Eddie George?
And you're also talking about a running back who looked for contact. We're talking about quarterbacks who know how to avoid taking those hits.
Yeah.
And again, different time. There are how many Ray Lewis sized linebackers are there right now?
Yeah. That's true. Big Reg wants to know, can we point out that at least the top 3 quarterbacks are in the AFC?
It's probably more than that, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Lamar, you got Burrow, you got Herbert. If you want to say that it's Mahomes, Josh Allen.
I mean, look. You still got to put Aaron
Herbert or somebody in there.
You still got to put Aaron Rodgers. You still got to put Aaron Rodgers. I mean, like he was. He might win the MVP this year.
Like moving forward for sure. The AFC has much better quarterbacks than the NFC.
Yeah,
moving forward.
Yeah.
Right now, Aaron
and Dak is up there too.
I mean, Dak is on probation till further notice after that performance.
Okay. Was there another game? Did we get all the games? Those are all the games from this week.
No, the Bengals and Titans.
Bengals and Titans. Yes, I know I was forgetting one. Listen, this is another story. There's another story for the Ravens fans. The Bengals.
Because it looks like a game where defense won, but it wasn't.
Yeah. And I saw some people saying, "Hey, Bengals defense stepped up too." Nah, I don't want to hear that, man. 9 sacks. You get to a quarterback 9 times. That should be a wrap, right? Yeah. That should cause all kinds of problems, and it almost did. It almost did. But again, when you have playmakers like Jamar Chase, who's a rookie, by the way, he hasn't scratched the surface of what he's going to be. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and of course you got Joe Burrow throwing on the ball. You're never out of the game, and they pulled it off.
Yeah, because again, those two combined for 12 catches and over a little over 200 yards.
Yeah. So,
and this is a cautionary tale. Don't go to the playoffs quarterbacked by Ryan Tannehill. Now you can get away with that in the NFC because the teams aren't as good in the NFC. The offenses aren't as good in the NFC.
Yeah,
you're not getting away with that in the AFC.
Yeah,
not now.
Yeah. So okay,
it's only going to get worse when you add Deshaun Watson back into the mix.
Yeah, but that's true. That's true. Let's see, man.
And they got Trevor Lawrence. If he gets on track.
Yeah. Manuel says Cooper Kupp is elusive fast. He is. Look, he's just a polished wide receiver, right? Like speed isn't everything, unless you're Tyreek Hill and you are speed.
He looks like Dash from The Incredibles. And he's just going just fast enough for you to not question it.
Josh Hoffman says, also the Rams almost lost to the Ravens. Have to wonder if they're that good. That game didn't mean anything to them. Like there's a difference between regular season and playoffs. They're a team that's built for the playoffs. I bet you right now that if we went out there and played them right now, they smoke us.
Like, but at the same time, no, I don't think they're that good.
No, I don't think they're that good either.
I
think they are that good. But
I don't think Matt Stafford is. I don't think Matt Stafford allows them to play up to their potential.
They're obviously good enough to win. They're good enough to win. They got to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff.
Yeah,
Stafford is an upgrade from Jared Goff. They are good enough to win. I believe.
Yeah, but the problem is like they didn't win with Jared Goff because he's Jared Goff. And I think that's the same reason they're not going to win with Matt Stafford, because he's Matt Stafford. I mean, I picked San Francisco to win, after they knocked out Dallas, who I had originally picked to get out of the NFC. But I've got Kansas City and San Francisco. I don't think that Matt Stafford is going to get it done against them next week.
Yeah. Man, Will says Wallace, Prochet, and Bateman are elusive fast. Listen, man. I mean, if you won't call them that, that's fine. But don't call them the same elusive fast as Cooper Kupp. Like, Bateman, look, Ravens fans were holding out hope for Rashad Bateman, but that's fine. You can hold out hope for Prochet, Wallace, all of them. That's fine. You can't rely on that. That's all I'm saying. You can't rely on that. So think about how you can improve that wide receiving core this offseason so we can get guys like that, because those guys that we saw tonight, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, this ain't college. They're not rotating out. They're just going to be there.
Tyreek Hill's going to be that fast for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase is going to be Jamar Chase for the next 12, 13, 14 years.
Tyreek Hill's so fast. When he starts to decline, you're not going to know, because nobody's still not going to be able to catch him. Like, he's that fast. Okay? We need some playmakers. Both of these teams.
I saw a guy on Twitter talking about Tony Romo. He said, Tony Romo said you can't let Tyreek Hill cross your face like he doesn't run a 3.840.
Listen. Both of these teams are going to add to their offense in some capacity this offseason. I promise you.
Yeah.
The Bills aren't going to go out there and say we need more defense.
The Chiefs are finally going to get a good running back.
Yeah. They're going to add another wide receiver. I promise you they will. I promise you. That's exactly what they're going to do. Let's see. Mikey says, the interesting debate as of late has been Burrow versus Herbert. What y'all think?
That is a tough one. I'll take either one I can get.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's better? It's hard to say now. I mean, everybody's going to say Burrow because he's in the playoffs, right? But if the Chargers had gotten there, we might have been saying the same thing.
I saw a clip of Justin Herbert dunking on some people earlier today, so I'm going to take Justin.
Attitude Pop says the Titans let go of a generational talent in Mariota, who was going crazy his first 4 years and became a little injury prone, and moved off of him for Ryan Tannehill. And I feel bad for Julio and AJ Brown. We love Marcus Mariota. He's not a generational talent, yo.
He's not a generational talent, no. But he's a good player. And the problem in Tennessee was he got hurt. He hurt his elbow, and they never let him heal. And so it looked like, for the rest of his time there, it looked like he couldn't throw. And then he healed up with the Raiders, and you've seen him in spots come in and play well. I think they should have kept him, but that's another, it's another thing with bad organizations. When players get injured, they rush them back. They don't allow them to get 100% healthy, and then they blame the player for being hurt and not playing up to their abilities.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
That's what you saw in Baltimore this past season with Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley was not ready to play. He wasn't ready to play because he wasn't practicing in training camp. And they rushed him out for week 1. He got hurt. He missed the rest of the season. And now we've got a bunch of Ravens fans talking about Ronnie's soft. We got to move on from Ronnie. He's overpaid, blah, blah, blah. This is John Harbaugh.
Yes.
Who put him in that game when he was not ready to play. It's not Ronnie.
Yeah. Listen, you're going to hear it from us. You're going to hear a lot of places about Ryan Stanley. Oh, he's soft and all that stuff. I don't like when people call players soft anyway. But he's injury prone and all this stuff, and we can't pay for that. Man, look, 27 years old, one of the best tackles in the league. He's not going anywhere. You don't give up on that just because he got hurt, and overlook the fact that the coach, who not just with him, all of our players. I mean, these injuries are not, they're not a coincidence. This happens all the time with us. We're always talking about injuries here. We always have players that, I thought they were going to come back this week. I thought they'd be ready this week. And then they have to sit out for a few more weeks, or they go back on IR. It's because this coaching staff is always rushing them back. He should not have started that first week. He didn't practice all offseason, all training camp. He didn't play in any preseason game, but we thought he was ready for week 1.
Yeah.
Give me a break, man. Give me a break. And also, I said this before, every time we talk about Ronnie Stanley, I'm going to mention this man, Trent Williams, right? Washington fans thought, yeah, he's injury prone too. He missed a whole lot of time too, right? He wanted a lot of money. He wasn't worth it. Now he's a beast. He's the best left tackle by far in the league.
Yeah.
All right. Ferris said Andy Reid doesn't care about running backs. Josh Hoffman.
Shouldn't have drafted one in the first round then.
Yeah. Josh Hoffman says this whole playoffs is just a smack in the face to the Ravens front office rep. These wide receivers, these O-line, and pass rushers, if we had just Emmanuel Sanders, I'd feel rich. That is a fact. And listen, and that's why I believe there's going to be more of a shakeup. I do think at this point that Greg Roman is going to get fired, right? Like you're not going to let Wink Martindale go talking about difference in philosophy, but Greg Roman, we're fine with that, especially having to sit home this entire playoffs and watch it all, just watch how everything's unfolding. There's no way you can go back and look at your offense and say, yeah, if we're 100% healthy, we can compete with that.
No.
What offense do we have to get us down the field in 13 seconds?
Nothing.
And we have a kicker that we only need to get just past the 50-yard line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have an offense that gets to the 50-yard line in 13 seconds.
And not only that, they're such a poorly coached team. That drive would have ended at the very beginning with a pre-snap penalty.
Yeah. So, that's the other thing too. A pre-snap penalty. We don't take a timeout. Like there'll be a delay of game. Like what game was it? Was the Rams game? We just took a delay of game. It's just like we had 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
Like why didn't you call timeout? Jonathan 94 Fresh says, "Wow, hell of a game." Yes, sir. Indeed. Black Daniels says injuries were mismanaged. Tell me I'm wrong. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. They were mismanaged.
And that's a constant thing in Baltimore.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I'm still to this day. I mean, I know it's not a big deal because he was probably going to be gone anyway. But I'm still amazed that people let John Harbaugh get away with saying Brashad Perryman was day to day for a year.
Yes. Also,
I'm surprised that they let John Harbaugh get away with 5 or 6 weeks with absolutely no update on Ronnie Stanley.
Speaking of Brashad Perryman, shout out to our man Engraven, who will tell you the real reason why the Bucs lost today is because Brashad Perryman was not available for that game. Okay, He may have been right. Let's see. Look, we got 60 people in here, man. Smash that like button, man. And if you are new, hit the subscribe button. There's a lot of new people coming through here, man. We got a lot of content for you. We do a live show every Wednesday night, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. And right after that show, we do an overtime show. And if you want to be a part of the overtime show, man, we talk about anything and everything, man. You can hang out in the chat. We have, a couple of our founding members. They hang out with us, and it's a lot of fun. And we go until we can't go anymore. Right. If you want to be a part of that, you can sign up at patreon.com/LBHT show. Also, that gives you access to our Discord. You saw D Weezy in the chat earlier. He does a segment on our show called Lunch Money Bets. So if you're a gambling degenerate, right? He got the hot picks for you, especially NBA boy. He be on fire with the NBA.
Thanks to D Weezy, I am 2 games away from winning some money on this Super Bowl bet. I got the Chiefs and the 49ers.
There you go. So just as little as $3 a month. If you have enough for a king size candy bar, sometimes I don't even get you a king size candy bar these days. All right, you can sign up. You can sign up for the Patreon, man. All right, let's read a couple more comments. Man, it is late. It is way past my bedtime. I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta get to bed. All right, we'll circle back to the Kansas City game. That's why we're here. Kansas City. They pulled out. I can't believe they pulled out that win. I absolutely cannot believe. I was ready to turn it off.
So it looked so routine.
Yeah.
Like they weren't panicked at all. They knew exactly what to do in that situation. They had those plays ready to go. They said, "Oh, we need X number of yards in 13 seconds." Okay, yeah, we know exactly what to do.
That's what's missing from Baltimore. And guys, if you're new here, you don't know about us. I'm a Ravens fan. B's a Panthers fan. We cover a lot of Ravens and Panthers on here. You're gonna see a lot of Ravens flocking here, right? But that's what's missing from Baltimore, man. Like everybody, like you said, everybody just knows what to do. Okay, we're gonna go out here. We're gonna execute this play, and as soon as Tyreek Hill catches that pass and gets down, timeout. All right, come on, let's go. We got this play to run or whatever. Like they know exactly what they need to do. Great clock management. Nobody's panicking. The opposite happens in Baltimore. We can't even get lined up and get a snap off without somebody, moving, or we just get delay of game. We just take the delay of game. We take a sack and we take a delay of game, and it's like, well, what were you planning on doing there? We got to pick up the first down. I don't know. We just took a penalty, right? Like, I mean, it's not organized at all, and that's why we always get on Greg Roman, man. And my thing is, if you're a Greg Roman defender, why? Like if we fire Greg Roman, because I believe he's out of here. When we fire Greg Roman, are you telling me we're doomed? We can't get a better coordinator out there, or do you know we could do better? Right, because there's nothing special about Greg Roman.
Well, again, so you see it on the ticker right there. Chiefs defeat the Bills 42-36 in overtime. Greg Roman's been the offensive coordinator in Baltimore. This was, I believe, his fourth year?
Yes.
3.5 years. He started midway through Lamar's rookie season. And they went to the playoffs Lamar's rookie year. They went his second year. They went his third year. They played 4 playoff games. They averaged 13 points on offense in those 4 playoff games. So, again, Greg Roman's offense averages 13 points per game in the playoffs in Baltimore. And the Chiefs just beat Buffalo 42-36. The Bills last week beat New England 47-17. That means Baltimore couldn't even beat either one of them.
Tony Hendo says we get a delayed game after we call a timeout. How, Sway?
The Bengals beat the Titans 19-16. Baltimore couldn't outscore either one of them.
Yes.
San Francisco, Green Bay 13-10. So they beat Green Bay. Congrats. But you can't beat a team who didn't even score an offensive touchdown.
Look, I'm going to tell you something.
With Greg Roman's offense.
We're talking about defense. This Bills team, last year we played them. We held them to 13 points. We lost by 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop focusing on defense. Get some points on the board. Man, if the Chiefs hold anybody to 13 points, they might have won by they might have won by 5 scores.
Well, no, they held the Bills offense to 10 points because it was 17-3. They lost the game by 14.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I thought it was 13-3. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No. It was 17-3 and then, and then
well,
they had
no.
pick six.
With a pick 6. Yeah, you're right.
They held the Bills offense to 10 points and they scored 3.
Yeah.
Even in the one playoff game that Baltimore has won under Greg Roman and Lamar Jackson, they only scored 20.
Yeah. Let's see. We got somebody says Cowboys suck. Man, you guys are harsh. Says watch a lot of free agents go to the Chiefs in the offseason. Man. You know who I'm afraid they get? Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
Or AB. You guys think AB's done? He ain't done. I bet you he'll sign with the Chiefs. You think the Chiefs won't sign AB? You better go look at their roster. AB will look like a saint in Kansas City.
He's gonna improve that locker room.
they said this wide receiver core needs some mentorship. Oh, yo, thank you for joining the live stream. Says Greg Roman was a rushing coordinator before for a reason. Now OC should just stay there. Yeah, man. I don't even think he's that good of a run game coordinator, if we're being honest about it.
Really.
Yes, I mean, people will point out, greatest rushing attack in the history of the NFL. Yeah, he needed Lamar to get half of those yards.
Lamar's led the team in rushing 4 straight years. He missed 6 games this year and led the team in rushing. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't care if we pick up guys off the street.
Again,
like your quarterback is leading your team in rushing.
It's like it's like they would say about guys like Tom Brady when he was in New England, because they would switch offensive systems all the time.
Yeah,
they switched out coaches and they would change up what they're doing to stay ahead of the curve. And people will say Tom Brady is the system. Lamar is the system, but not in a good way.
Yeah. Josh Hoffman says, I'll defend Harbaugh if he fires Roman now. I admit I saw no reason to fire Wink. And if he just fired Roman, I'd still be skeptical as anything. But both, even I'd be impressed. I saw no reason to fire Wink. Wink is a problem too. Like, you can't make any adjustments on your defense. You're doing zero blitz all the time. That's why we lost some of these games. You're doing zero blitz when you know the quarterback's going to beat that blitz and you're not adjusting. That's exactly why he's out. I know Harbaugh had a problem with that all throughout the season. That almost lost us a game against the Bears, right? Yeah. Doing a zero blitz on like 4th and whatever, right? And you let Andy Dalton beat you, right? Beat you for a touchdown. I'm sure Harbaugh was waiting to the end of the season to say, hey, man, you can't do that anymore. You got to stop. And Wink was just like, no, I won't stop. He's like, all right.
Stop, won't stop.
Yeah. Attitude Pop says, I told you. He says, I told you Lamar is the chosen one. He's the one who will destroy Mahomes. Josh Allen is not. I keep telling y'all this Lamar is the only one who can stop Mahomes. Tom Brady stopped Mahomes last year.
This is not a fantasy movie, bro.
Yeah. Right. Look, we'll see. Mahomes hasn't held up the trophy yet. Okay. The teams that are left, any one of them can win it. Any one of them. Mikey from Off the Record podcast says, chances Wink ends up in Pittsburgh. TJ Watt says, if you do, TJ Watt gonna be relegated to about 7 to 9 sacks. You better not. We had a Steelers fan in here on the last stream saying, "Oh, we take Wink in a heartbeat." You better not. Now if you value TJ Watt's contribution to the team, you better not take him.
Right.
Let's see. All right. Couple more comments, and let's call it a night, because we got a show to do on Wednesday. If you guys are new, I want you guys to check out the show Wednesday night. Okay, we don't want to give away everything right now, but we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We're gonna talk about next week's games. Okay, we got conference championships coming up, and we got all the off season to discuss still, man. So yeah. Luke Rodrigue says, "Sup, my little people." Okay, what's up with you, Luke? Thanks for coming through. Let's see. And Josh says, "Oh, Wink was infuriating, but the defense had not been why we lost in the playoffs at all." Where's Harbaugh telling Roman to cut out the shenanigans? I think they were part of the problem when we lost to the Titans.
Yeah, they gave it 28 to the Titans.
Now, we only scored 12.
Yeah. But nobody said they were the main problem, but they were part of the problem.
You know what? I agree. No, I do agree with them. Defense was not the problem. I agree with you, Josh, because you only give up 28 points in the playoffs. You should be able to outscore them.
I wouldn't say only, and especially to a Titans team. 28 points is a lot.
Listen. The Chiefs say, you hold a team to 28 points, we'll take that every time.
Yeah, but they ain't the Chiefs, though.
Well, that's the problem.
No, I'm saying the Titans aren't the Chiefs. Like they didn't have any business scoring 28 in that game against a top defense in the NFL. Now, last year, when they went to the playoffs, the defense played very well. They were not the issue at all. Yeah. It was the offense.
Now, Josh says we gave up 28 points on short fields, all off turnovers. But here's the thing: when you invest that much in defense, there's no excuses. In my mind, I think we spend the most on our defense than anybody in the league. We spend the most. We had the most expensive defense in the league. When you invest that much and you're spending high draft picks on the defense, no excuses. You're trying to replicate the 2000s defense, right? Without that generational talent, you're trying to get that back. You better make it happen, right? I don't want to hear it. And if it doesn't work, yeah, Wink, you got to go. We gave you everything. We gave you everything, and you didn't get it done. The defense got worse and worse and worse every single year, right? They keep, toting out this stat. The gatekeeper Twitter totes out, last 3 years he was top 10 in defense. But what they didn't tell you was we went from first to fifth to ninth, and now we're last. Right? They left that part out. Can't get worse. You cannot get worse. When you're putting everything on the defense, you cannot get worse. So
because again, and I hear what you're saying, and it's true. They only gave up one drive for a score against Tennessee in that game. But if you are that defense, and it's in the playoffs and it's that game, you have to step up.
Yeah.
I mean, San Francisco offense didn't help them out at all. They didn't score. They scored 6 points. The San Francisco offense scored 6 points. They didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah.
They did nothing to help that defense. The defense blocked a punt and returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
The defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive to Aaron Rodgers. This is Aaron Rodgers, mind you, not Ryan Tannehill. And they shut him out the rest of the game.
If you want to be a defensive-minded team, run-heavy team, your team needs to look like what the Niners are doing right now. And the Niners barely made it to the playoffs, by the way. But if you want your team to be like that, you have to get those results. It has to be a situation where, because Jimmy G did them no favors. They had to say, hey, whatever it takes, we're gonna make it happen, right? We don't have that defense.
And listen, that's not a realistic thing to expect in the NFL today.
It's not.
That's not a thing that San Francisco can do every week.
No.
So don't build defense first.
All right. Troy Grubb says, after watching Bills Chiefs game, those offenses, there is no way that Greg Roman should be back. He has to go. Great show. Thumbs up. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay.
But I think it goes beyond that, though, right? Because, Greg Roman should be gone. We all knew that. Most people felt that prior to the game.
Yeah.
It has to go beyond that. He has to be gone, and you have to commit to improving the offense, to improving the talent on the offense, because it's not just coaching. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills did not put on that show because of coaching. They have elite talent on their offenses.
Yes. Yeah. All right. A few more, and we're out of here. Black Daniel says, these are the reasons that make me believe our staff doesn't know their personnel. It's just guys on a roster, no strengths and weaknesses, line up and play. Yeah. Yeah. Addy is in the house. What's up, Addy? He says, I agree. Defense was getting stale really quickly. We had a nice run, but I won't miss a terrible 3-4 heavy blitz scheme and still get no sacks. Yeah, man. No interceptions either. And Manuel is kind of parroting this. He says defense to go forward is 4-3. I was actually talking to B about this earlier. Is it time to switch to a 4-3 based defense? Mm-hmm. Right. Honestly, I don't think it matters. I just think we need a coach that can come in and give some fresh ideas, that understands that you can't blitz on every other play. You have to, Wing's scheme is he wants positionless players. He wants safeties that can play both sides. He wants them to be able to come up and play linebacker at times. He wants them to be able to blitz, right? He wants his edge rushers to also be able to drop back into coverage, and not everybody can do that. You got to let players do what they do best, and he takes them out of the game at times, right? Yeah. Look, we get on Owe, right? We didn't like that as a pick because we needed a right tackle, but Owe can do a lot better than what he showed this year, right? He disappeared, but I think if you just make him a pass rushing specialist, you will see you will see a lot of sacks out of Owe. If you're saying drop back into coverage because he's a freak athlete, well, he's not a DB, right? He's not that good at stopping the run either. Like, he doesn't seal the edge that well. But if you say, hey, get after the quarterback, he can do that, right? We need coaches that can help these guys enhance what they do, what they do well, and cultivate that.
And I want to point out as well, people were saying that the defenses are playing really well in the NFC. The thing in the NFL now, what you have to do to be that successful on defense is make the other team one-dimensional, right? Yeah. So, if you can get to a point where your pass rushers can just kind of tee off on the other team nonstop, you can make things really, really difficult for the opposing quarterback, right? You're getting pressure on them, getting sacks, batting the ball down, whatever it is. Your corners don't have to cover as much, things like that. The way you do that is scoring points.
Yeah.
That is the only way to do that.
Yeah.
You put points up, you get a lead, and the other team has to throw.
Yeah.
They become one-dimensional, and then your defense that is built to hold a lead will hold that lead.
Yeah.
If you build a defense and what you're trying to say is, man, just go out there and hold them to 6 points. You're not going to do it.
Yeah. And Jonathan 94 Fresh, you said a lot here. He's basically said, hey, our defense, decent linemen, okay backfield. Our linebackers can't cover or tackle. Yeah, look, I think they can do more than what they've shown with a better scheme, right? When they're asked to do everything plus blitz, you don't really give them a chance to do what they do best, right? Not everybody can do everything. That's just we don't have that. Like, no, you don't have a team full of that.
And when you're trying to build a dominant defense, you're looking to get great players at every position, and you're spreading yourself too thin.
Yeah.
You need to focus in on a couple spots, get elite talent, and let those guys play.
And Manuel says we have the talent in wide receiver, but coaches don't want to use them. We don't have that talent that we saw tonight. We don't have that.
You don't have a single player who is anywhere near Tyreek Hill's level of ability.
Not even close.
One.
Not even close.
because what I'll tell you about a player like Tyreek Hill, there isn't a coach in existence that could hold him back.
No.
Tyreek Hill was a dangerous playmaker his rookie year before he was even playing receiver in Kansas City. You could not stop him.
We don't have a Tyreek Hill. We don't have a Cooper Kupp. We don't have a Deebo Samuel. We don't have a Odell Beckham. We don't have a Devontae Adams. We don't have a Jamar Chase. We don't have a T. Higgins on this team. We don't have any of these guys. All these guys are still playing. I even mentioned Mike Evans scoring that touchdown on Jalen Ramsey today. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah, how many of y'all think that Hollywood or Bateman or Duvernay or Prochet could beat Jalen Ramsey one-on-one for a touchdown like that? How many of you actually believe that?
Listen, man. Look, yes, Jonathan 94 Fresh. Duvernay is supposed to be our Debo. He is nothing like Debo. Duvernay, listen, and again, this is not slander to Duvernay. I like Duvernay. Duvernay has his role in the team. Return specialist, a damn good one, and he can be a role player in the passing game, but he's not Debo. He can, if you want to say he can do Debo like things on jet sweeps or whatever, fine, whatever. But he's not Debo Samuels. All right.
Yeah. See, I'm looking at it now. Tyreek Hill, his rookie year, he played receiver. He wasn't a starting receiver. He had 593 yards and 6 touchdowns in his rookie year as a receiver.
Yeah.
And then he had 3 rushing touchdowns. And then he had 3 return touchdowns.
Yeah.
He finished the season with 12 touchdowns as a rookie, and he was kind of almost a part-time player in the offense. He is a playmaker.
Yeah.
I don't see Devin Duvernay out there scoring multiple touchdowns in the role that he's in right now. He's not scoring double-digit touchdowns for Baltimore.
Yeah.
Because you can't stop him. They don't have that kind of talent.
Right. And Oyo's asking the same thing. Could Duvernay and another offense or Ravens with different OC be like a Debo-esque? Again, if you're saying they can do some of the things that Debo, the way the 49ers use Debo Samuel, yeah, they could, but he's not Debo Samuel. Like we don't have any of those elite level wide receivers on the team. We can, yes, a better offensive coordinator can get more out of this team. And, maybe Rashad Bateman could turn into that type of wide receiver. I'm not going to give him that just off of his rookie year with 500 yards, right? I don't care about injuries or whatever. Like, he has to show me that he can be that before I say he's an elite level player. He's not that. So we don't have that on the team right now. And, that's fine. Somebody mentioned put Hollywood in the slot. I agree with that. He might be better suited to play out the slot. But we need playmakers. We need top tier talent. And how do we do that, man? You got to do whatever you got to do. If we can trade for Calvin Ridley, right? Give up whatever it takes to get Calvin Ridley. If Minnesota says, hey, Adam Thielen, we're shopping him again, do whatever it takes to get Adam Thielen. Like, you got to look around and get whoever you can, like, get some talent. So then those players like Duvernay and, Hollywood, like, they can really go off in their role. So then we can get a Gabriel Davis type of performance from those guys.
So I want to say, I forget who it was who said it on Twitter, but this is the kind of the point with the Debo thing, right? Mm-hmm. The Debo and Duvernay. The lesson from Debo Samuel is not go find the next Debo Samuel, try to get a poor man's Debo Samuel on your team. The lesson is to use players to their strengths, mm-hmm. even if it's something unorthodox. Devin Duvernay is not Debo Samuel, but maybe you can find another role for him where he'll excel, right? I mean, Debo Samuel's a 1,400-yard receiver. That's not Devin Duvernay. No, Devin Duvernay's not a threat to go to take the ball the distance every time he touches it. That's not who he is.
I think Duvernay's already excelling. Like, he's the best returner in the league, and mm-hmm. he can give you something in the pass game as well, right? Like, it doesn't have to be any more than that. Not everybody's going to be a star. Like, that's fine. I'm fine with it.
Specifically for Baltimore, the lesson is you need different players.
Yeah.
You're not going to turn Duvernay and Prochet and Tylan Wallace into elite weapons. That's not what they are. You need to go get other players.
Yeah. All right, we're going to end it with this. And then I want you guys, if you're not subscribed, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out and hit that notification bell, because we do a show. We're going to do a show on Wednesday. We'll be back in just a few days. And Mikey from Off the Record Podcast. And I should point this out, Mikey, that's our partner on our other podcast, Ring Kings Podcast. So if you're into boxing, and I see 50 people in here, help us reach 50 real quick. We're actually trying to get to 100 real quick. We got a quick goal of 100, but we're close to 50. Go over there and hit that subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead over to Ring Kings Podcast, hit subscribe. But Mikey says we don't have nothing like Debo. Debo has become a special talent / playmaker. They don't just grow on trees. We don't have it in-house. That's a fact.
Now, you could have had Debo. He came in the same class as Hollywood Brown, which is, every single year I look at that more and more as a bust pick. Like, Hollywood's not a bust. He's a fine player.
Yeah.
But they took him ahead of DK Metcalf. They took him ahead of AJ Brown. They took him ahead of Deontay Johnson. They took him ahead of Terry McLaurin, and they took him ahead of Debo Samuel. That's a bad pick. And I mean, Eric DeCosta has to answer for that.
Yeah, Eric DeCosta isn't getting a lot of, he's not getting a lot of talk right now, but it's one more year, right? Like this class, he has to hit, and if they don't perform this year, trust me.
Yeah, or Hollywood is that guy, and you better fire Greg Roman and hire the coach that can get it out of him.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
And they have to show it this year, and yeah. I think that's why the Ravens brass has been quiet. I think they understand that. They're having some serious talks, obviously, because Wink is out. I think Ray Roman's going to be out. I think they understand the time is now. And watching these playoff games like this Kansas City and Bills game, they understand we can't play around anymore because the rest of these teams have passed us. Straight up passed us. And they're only going to get better this offseason.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's a wrap. Thank you for hanging out. Again, make sure you're subscribed. Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at LBHT Show. All right. And we will see you Wednesday night, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. We will talk more playoffs, more Ravens. We might talk a little NBA, whatever comes up between now and then. So, y'all have a good night. And B, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, B is ready. All right. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy your week. Stay warm if you're on the East Coast because it's freezing over here. And we will see you on Wednesday. Peace out.